Dear children, hope you all are in good health. In this video, we will study about capacitors. Before watching this video, you should have precise knowledge of Gauss theorem and electric potential. We will study the following topics in this video. What is a capacitor? A capacitor is a device used to store electric charge. Capacitance: when charge is given to a capacitor, its potential rises. The greater the charge, greater is the rise in potential. Let plus Q charge is given to a capacitor and its potential rises to V. So we can write it as Q is directly proportional to V. Means with the increase in Q, V also increases, which is further equal to Q is equal to CV, where C is a constant of proportionality and is called capacitance or capacity of a capacitor. From the above equation, C will be equal to Q upon V. Now SI unit of capacitance: SI unit of charge is coulomb, SI unit of potential is volt. So SI unit of capacitance is equal to coulomb per volt, which is equal to farad. How we will define 1 farad? The capacitance of a capacitor is said to be 1 farad when a charge of 1 coulomb raises the potential of a conductor by 1 volt. Principle of a capacitor: let A be an insulated metal plate. Let it be charged positively such that its potential is maximum. Let C be the capacitance of this plate. Now, if any charge is given to this conductor, it will escape to the surroundings. Let us bring another metal plate B near plate A. Due to electrostatic induction, negative charge will appear on the inner side of plate B and positive charge will appear on the outer side of plate B. Negative charge will decrease the potential of plate A, but positive charge will increase the potential of plate A. But the overall potential of plate A will decrease because the negative charge is nearer to the plate A. Hence, the capacitance of the plate A will increase. Let the plate B be earthed. The positive charge on the plate B get neutralized due to the flow of electrons from the earth. The negative charge will remain there on the plate. Thus, we will get a net positive charge on plate and net negative charge on plate B. This arrangement of two parallel metal plates separated by vacuum or any other dielectric is called a parallel plate capacitor. Now, capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Let us consider a parallel plate capacitor having plate area A and surface charge density sigma. Let plus Q charge is given to plate A. Due to electrostatic induction, minus charge will appear on the inner side of B and the positive charge will appear on the outer side of the B. The positive charge on the outer side of B get neutralized due to the flow of electrons from the earth. So now the plate A has net positive charge and plate B has net negative charge, and this forms a parallel plate capacitor. The distance between the two plates is equal to D. The surface charge density, you know, it is given by the formula sigma is equal to Q upon A. By Gauss theorem, the electric field between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, which is further equal to Q upon A epsilon naught. Now the potential difference between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor is given by the formula V is equal to E into D. So putting the value of E in this expression, you will get Q D upon A epsilon naught. Now we know that C is equal to Q upon V. So C will be equal to Q upon QD upon A epsilon naught, which is Q and Q will get cancelled and we will get A epsilon naught upon D. So this is the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Now if the space between the plates is filled with a dielectric slab of dielectric constant K, then the capacitance of a capacitor is written as C is equal to A K epsilon naught upon D. Now the factors on which capacitance depends. From the formula, it is clear that capacitance increases with the increase in area of the plates. Capacitance increases with the decrease in distance between the plates. The presence of dielectric medium increases the capacitance of a capacitor by K times. Next, what are dielectrics? Dielectrics are the substances which do not conduct electricity but they transmit electric effects when placed in an electric field. There are two types of dielectrics: non-polar dielectrics, polar dielectrics. Dielectrics are also known as insulators. Now what are non-polar dielectrics? Non-polar dielectrics are made of non-polar molecules. The center of mass of positive charges coincide with the center of mass of the negative charges. In the normal state, that is in the absence of any electric field, each molecule has zero dipole moment and non-polar molecules are symmetric in shape. For example, carbon dioxide. Now let us see how carbon dioxide is a non-polar molecule. Firstly, I will draw the structure of carbon dioxide. It is C and double covalent bond with two oxygen atoms. Now the electronegativity of carbon is 2.1. Electronegativity of oxygen is 3.5. So oxygen is more electronegative than carbon. So when a covalent bond is formed, what happens? The shared electrons is kept by the oxygen. The shared electrons will remain closer to the oxygen than to the carbon, due to which the oxygen will acquire a net negative charge and the carbon will acquire a not net partial negative charge and the carbon will acquire a partial positive charge. Same is with the other atom of oxygen. So there exists now a dipole moment between oxygen and carbon. Like this way, the direction of the dipole moment is from negative to positive charge, and here also you will draw it from negative to positive charge. So the two dipole moments are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So the net dipole moment of carbon dioxide is equal to 0. So carbon dioxide is a non-polar molecule. Second one, all spittric molecules are non-polar like H2, O2, Cl2, etc. Now, when two hydrogen atoms share a pair of electrons, then hydrogen molecule is formed. The shared electrons, the electrons are shared equally, you can say, by the two hydrogen atoms because they have the same electronegativity, due to which the net dipole moment of hydrogen molecule is equal to 0. Third one is methane, CH4. So firstly we will draw the structure of methane. C, it's H, 4 atoms of H. Now electron negativity of hydrogen is equal to 2.1. Electron negativity of carbon is 2.5. Just make a correction. Electron negativity of hydrogen is 2.1. So the electronegativity of carbon is more than the hydrogen, due to which the shared electrons will remain close to carbon than to the hydrogen, due to which on carbon a partial negative charge will develop and a partial positive charge will develop on hydrogen atom. Same is for all the hydrogen atoms. So now there exists a dipole moment between carbon and hydrogen atom, and the direction of the dipole moment is from negative to positive, like this way. So you can see that the two dipole moments will cancel each other. Now for this carbon and hydrogen, they also will cancel each other. So the net dipole moment of CH4 is equal to 0. So these are the examples of non-polar dielectrics. Next, polar dielectrics. Polar dielectrics are made of polar molecules. The center of mass of positive charge does not coincide with the center of mass of negative charges in a molecule. In a normal state, that is in the absence of electric field, each molecule has some intrinsic permanent dipole moment, and polar dielectrics are asymmetric in shape. For example, water molecule. Now, electronegativity of hydrogen is equal to 2.1. Electronegativity of oxygen is 3.5. Firstly, draw the structure of water. It's oxygen, hydrogen. Now the electronegativity of oxygen is greater than the hydrogen, due to which the shared electrons will be closer to the oxygen atom than to the hydrogen atom. So a partial negative charge will develop on oxygen atom and a partial positive charge will develop on hydrogen atom. The direction of the dipole moment is from negative charge to positive charge. So the dipole moment P1, and here also from negative charge to positive charge, dipole moment P2. P1 is equal to P2. Now these two dipole moments do not cancel each other. Let us see how. We will resolve these vectors into two components, P1 along x-axis and along y-axis. Then resolve P2 into two components, along x-axis, along y-axis. You can see that the x component will cancel each other, but the y component will add up, giving net dipole moment to the molecule. So water is an example of polar molecule. Here it is dipole moment is not equal to 0. Another example, HCl molecule. Now draw the structure of HCl molecule. Electronegativity of chlorine is more than the hydrogen. So shared pair of electrons will remain closer to chlorine than to the hydrogen, giving a partial negative charge to chlorine and a partial positive charge to hydrogen. So the molecule has net dipole moment from negative to positive charge.